Hello and welcome to FirefighterMedic. Today I want to discuss the concept of studying as it pertains to paramedic school and just relate some of my personal experiences to you so that you can best prepare yourself for medic school. Now, understand that my personal experience is that I don't think I'm very sharp. I had a very average academic experience growing up and on through college where, I didn't invest myself too much in things and pretty much got average grades. I don't think of myself as extraordinarily intelligent, and so when I got to paramedic school, what was required of me there was an eye-opener, and I was basically scared to death, and rightly so, because of the academic expectations. So some of the things that I'll relate to today just really build off of my personal experience and then where I see people running into problems moving forward. So from my personal experience, one of the best things that I did in paramedic school was create study groups. And for a lot of people, those are really tough to do. It's hard to reach out to people and invite them to things. There's fear of rejection, there's surrounding yourself with the right people, there's timing and scheduling, and then there's always the pitfall of maybe having too many distractions when you get together. However, the benefits of studying are that when you're tackling new concepts, like you do many times over in paramedic school, a lot of times you may have trouble with some of these concepts, and someone, a peer within your group, not just a teacher, can help you break through conceptually and understanding that thing without the surrounding stigma of having a teacher really have to shove this down your throat, or the absolute worst thing that could happen, which is showing up the next day and taking a test on something and not understanding it conceptually. So I think peer groups help tremendously with this. Secondly, is that those peer groups, those study groups, really help to drive you when you lack the motivation. So the school that I attended, there were 3 to 4 exams every day. You had to pass with at least 80% efficiency, and if you failed 2 tests, in other words you got under 80% on 2 tests throughout the semester, you were out of school, which meant that any day you showed up to take your morning exams, that could be your last day at school. And this was motivation in and of itself. However, my study partners and I ended up having a phrase where we didn't go to sleep at night until we understood something cold. And so a lot of times we would spend hours and hours at night after school studying together, and when someone started drifting or someone had troubles, we'd be there to lift them up and to help them out and keep them awake. An extra pot of coffee, a sock in the arm, something like that. These are the type of things that you'll find you need to help motivate yourself with. I would implore you going into medic school that to find out what kind of studying techniques work for you. A lot of times, because anatomy and physiology is a required course to take going into medic school for many programs, that's such an intensive course that you can kind of cut your teeth a little bit on a program like that. And where I'm going with this is, are you someone that likes to do flashcards? Do you do better taking notes in class? Do you do better highlighting things out of a book? Do you like to speak into a voice recorder and then listen to yourself speak back? Do you do better in groups, one-on-one? What kind of study technique works for you? It'd be a really good idea to have this down before you got into medic school, because the expectations are so high and they start throwing so many things at you with exams and repercussions and consequences that you want to know this going in, as opposed to finding out the hard way what kind of study technique doesn't work for you, to where you're kicked out of medic school and now waiting around for the next school year to come around. So now, kind of last note on a personal basis, or a personal account of my experience, was that of the 3 or 4 people that I carpooled to school with and studied with, one of them ended up being the valedictorian of our class. And so by surrounding yourself with good people, I believe that you can start to kind of draft off of them and start to see what is successful and what works for them. And I was very fortunate in the sense that I got paired up with someone who was a highly intelligent, highly driven person, And by being around him and those study habits and seeing how he approached problems and simulations and patient assessments, etc., I really started to gain an understanding of how he was successful, and that started to rub off on me just by being around him every day. And so think about surrounding yourself with what you perceive to be the top-notch students in your class should you be lucky enough to get into medic school, because your study habits there will be a determinant of your success in the program, and also really set the stage for you to move forward positively through your career, because you'll see that after you're out of school, the way you approach academic success and heavy workload and high expectations have changed fundamentally moving forward. And that's a really positive thing, because now your capacity for work and for learning and for growth has changed fundamentally, as I said, and that really bodes well as you start to tackle new challenges like promotions and job interviews and things that appear very daunting now but take on a different light after you've acquired that different skill set. So anyways, I hope this kind of information helps, but if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to email us, info@firefightermedic.com. As always, be safe out there and have a great day.